Welcome to a brand new edition of It's All Relative. I'm Josh.
I'm Sarah.
And today we'll be talking with an author who's written 6 different novels. We'll discuss the process, the inspirations, the challenges faced with publishing. You guys aren't going to want to miss it, so press play and get ready for an all-new episode right here on the It's All Relative podcast. So what's good, Sarah?
Not too much. How have you been?
I've been good. Anything new with you since the last time we've seen each other?
No, nothing crazy new. Just still working. You know, work's been crazy busy, so it's definitely been keeping me busy and a little insane, but it's all right.
Right on.
Makes the days go by quicker.
Right. Week was good.
Yeah, it kind of dragged a little bit.
Okay.
Definitely dragged. Like I said, work.
Yeah.
But it's been good. It was good.
I understand. It's Mother's Day weekend.
Yes.
So
yes. Shout out to all the moms.
Absolutely.
We appreciate all of you.
Absolutely. Love to every single mother out there.
Grandmothers, aunts.
Thank you for everything you do.
Yes.
Well, yeah, once the episode drops, Mother's Day will just be about over.
Yeah.
But nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
You ready for today's episode?
Yes, I'm ready to get into it.
All right, you excited?
Yes.
All right. Let's get our guest on. He's an author who's just recently released his latest piece of work, The Werewolf Vaccine, as well as completing 5 other novels. Artistic creativity at its finest. Ladies and gentlemen, Travis Lake.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for giving us some of your time and agreeing to come on. It's All Relative. Before we get started, let me ask you real quick. Are you familiar with any podcasts?
Some. I don't really get around to listening to many podcasts.
Okay. Do you have a favorite one that you listen to?
Probably not. No.
Probably not. Okay. Okay. We'll get you to change your mind to ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll start listening to more podcasts.
Yep.
Yeah. No. Let me think, man. Like we had said before, it's been about 18 years since the last time you and I have seen each other, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Long time.
Long time. Lots have happened. Life has happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yep.
But since then, 6 books, right? I gotta say real quick though, I always enjoy when we're able to get guests on the show who are out there creating pieces of art for our world. You know, it's inspiring, and I always like to say that those of us who create forms of art are going to be able to leave the world our pieces that we've created when we're gone. And, you know, that is something to strive for and be proud of. So
Absolutely.
I wanted to say, you know, utmost respect for you and to you for writing 6 books. You know what I'm saying? How does that make you feel when you hear that? Like, Travis Lake, author of 6 books.
Well, first off, I want to say thank you, and I feel the same way. You know, artists in this world, I feel, are unappreciated sometimes, but I mean, they always are. And but they're really leaving an impact. And it still amazes me at this point. Like, whenever, like, I tell people how many books I've written, it sometimes doesn't seem real. You know, I haven't published anything, you know, like with a big publisher. You know, I self-publish my books, but it's still, I don't know, it makes me feel good about myself, and it's like I said, sometimes it's very surreal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a huge achievement. Have you always been a big reader?
Oh yeah, ever since I was a kid, I loved reading.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
What was the last book you've read?
Like the last one I completed?
Yeah.
Believe it was Mastodon by Steve Stredd.
Nice. Never heard of it.
Nope, me neither.
What about you, Sarah? What was the last?
Oh, no. Yeah, so I'm not a big reader at all. I was the kid in school who the only time I was really reading was when I had to, for class, to write an essay. We had a quiz on whatever the case might have been, part of the curriculum. I never really was into it. You know, I remember when I was younger, I used to, like, graze right through, like, the Junie B books and, like, all those, like, little tales and whatnot. But, yeah, no, like, once I hit middle school, I think I just... I didn't like school in general at that point. So school involved reading, and I just kind of shied away from it. But
Yeah, that's okay.
one of my favorites, though, that I did actually discover in middle school was The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. And
Classic.
yes, and that's just
Yeah, I
been
think
one of
everybody
my
read that at school.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just
That was one of the good ones.
one of my comfort books, one of my comfort movies for sure. So it's, it's like there's one, but that's more like of a sentimental thing at this point. As far as I wouldn't even call that my favorite book because I'm not a big reader. But no, I think that reading is awesome because I know it's all about creating that kind of vision in your head and really understanding and being able to visualize what's going on. So I think being able to write that and give that effect to people is really cool. So
Thank you.
it's awesome.
Yeah, I think that The Outsiders was amazing. Okay.
Yes.
It's still, I'm just saying too. Just movie wise, the cast wise, incredible,
That was really good.
Awesome combination.
Incredible. That movie actually sits on my or is in our my family's movie collection as well.
Hell yeah.
As well as the book.
Yes. I have my future children watching that by the age of like 4.
It's like I said.
I show my kids horror movies, so I really can't comment.
Yeah, I was shown horror movies at a very young age. Right back to that haunted house. Anywho's.
Yeah, I think it's a natural thing though for younger children or kids when you're at a younger age. Reading's just not people. I think their attention spans aren't very long. So
Damn
it's
cell phones.
well, especially nowadays. Yeah, too. Like kids are fucked. But
put in front of a tablet or a TV and told to deal with it. And,
yeah, but either way, I was the same way back in high school too because we were always assigned books to read and whatnot, and I don't think I ever completed any.
I don't think so either. A lot of grazing and panicking, and then, hey, can I copy your answers? Like I wasn't,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what about you, bro? Because you and I, we did.
Yeah, your
spend a
English
little
teacher
time-
must have loved you. Mine fucking hated me.
Did you?
Most of my English teachers actually did like me, so.
Yeah, I bet.
Do you remember completing these books when you were younger?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you said you were a reader, so.
Even I used to love that in school when they would give us books to read and stuff. Even if the books weren't very good, it's or not very. I shouldn't say not very good. These are classics, but not to my liking, not my genre or what I usually read. It's still interesting to read something that you don't normally read.
Absolutely,
getting different perspectives.
Absolutely. Yeah, I did not like or enjoy reading any of those books, but as I got older, things changed, and now I do it when I have the time. I enjoy being able to sit down and read different books, and the type of books I read, that shit is so big. You know what I'm saying? There's so, I mean, I read so many different things. If you were to look at like our bookshelf, you would be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Big range of books. Yep.
Yeah, but I dig it. And actually, one of the books too that I have enjoyed too as an adult was one that I was supposed to read in high school, and I think it's a great book. Some people have their own opinions about it. They don't really. I feel like they either love it or hate it. But I'm sure you have, Travis. But Sarah, have you guys ever heard of The Old Man and the Sea?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't
Sorry for the
think
groan.
so.
Yes, I have read Old Man and the Sea.
I don't think so. No.
Not a fan.
I mean, it is beautifully written. I will say that. Wonderful prose, but I found it boring.
As did most people, because it's really, the whole thing is literally this dude by himself in a boat, right? Having this battle with this fish.
What was it, like a stingray or something like that, or
I don't particularly
remember what it was.
No, I don't either. But I do. I do.
Steve
remember.
Irwin type shit. Like,
he was avenging him. Ernest Hemingway came from the past. Too.
Correct. But let me ask you, bro. I saw that you wrote your first novel at the age of 19.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Which pretty big accomplishment for a 19-year-old.
Thank you.
So right?
Yeah,
That's wild.
I mean, that doesn't happen overnight. When did you start compiling all that together? So you published it at 19. I mean,
it took me. I think it took me about a year to write that.
All right.
It was really kind of like a test for myself.
Right.
I had always written when I was, all my life I wrote stories, but I'd never written like a full novel. I did like shorter things or things that I would start but not finish. And I really wanted to test myself and see if I could write a full book. So that's what that one was. I didn't even care at the time.
Little test round? Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even care if it was good or not. I just wanted to see if I could write something.
Nice.
Which the first book was called Harold's Ghosts. Okay.
Yes. Not the original title, but the one I got saddled with.
Okay. You want to expand on that?
The original title I had planned was Hidden.
Okay.
But the publishing company I sent it to told me I couldn't use that. I think they were publishing something else called that at the same time, so I had to come up with something, and that's all I could come up with.
Okay. All right. What made you decide that you wanted to write a book?
Well, like I said, I've always loved writing and reading, so I used to write stories all the time as a kid, but then I didn't think I was really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got kind of discouraged about that. Also, I was young.
Mm-hmm.
I got into acting, and I was going to go to an acting school, and then that didn't work out. And then I was like, well, I want something that I could do, even if it's just a hobby or for me, just something I could do like at any time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought about going back to writing and started working on things and trying to see what I could write.
That's awesome. Now you say acting. You talking like? Did you want you wanted to pursue like a specific type of act, like movies?
Yeah,
TV? Oh,
like movies.
That's
and stuff,
dope.
Yeah.
That's really cool. But then you said nah.
Yeah, just
not for you.
circumstances happened, and it didn't work out.
Okay. Now, we'll get into the different books you've written a little bit later, but you've recently released a new one called The Werewolf Vaccine. Okay. Now, without giving the story away, can you tell us a little about about the book and when was it released?
And listeners, get COVID right out of your head right now.
Well, it does actually have to do with that.
Listen.
So, it was just recently released a week ago or so, or 2 weeks ago or something like that. I can't remember exactly when I put it out. Maybe even a month ago. I don't know. I lose track of time. So it was published very recently. I've been working on it for a while. I had actually finished it shortly after I finished the prior book.
Mm-hmm.
But then it just took a while for me to finish it up and get it out. You want to know what it was about without going into the plot?
Yeah.
So with this book and my last one, The Friend Zone, I kind of did like a social commentary. I kind of infused it in the story, where I'm kind of just like criticizing certain things that like bother me. So this one has a lot to do. Basically, I'm making fun of anti-vaxxers and criticizing that kind of ideology.
Okay.
In this book.
Interesting.
Okay. You want to expand on that at all, Sarah? No.
I mean,
what I'll say too is when I first saw the title of this book, I did think, because when I saw the word vaccine in it, it made me think of like the whole madness of the whole COVID thing that we've all experienced within the last year plus, right?
Right.
Funny thing is, I actually came up with the story and wrote it before COVID.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I when I had to go back, I tried to add a couple little things, but it's hard for me to do that without starting from the beginning. So.
Right. Why werewolves?
Well, I'd have to get into the plot to really talk about that.
Okay.
It all makes plenty of sense when I describe the plot.
So we got to read the book.
Yes. I was about to say I couldn't expand because he can't expand because he doesn't want to give the story away.
Yeah.
So I can't really ask questions.
Right. All right. Well, then, Travis, talk to us about the whole process when it comes to writing a novel. Like, is there a certain approach that you go through, or?
Well, all my book ideas come to me in different ways. So there's always a slightly different creative process. Usually I'm thinking about one book while I'm writing the next.
Oh, shit.
So I have things planned out already when I finish with the one. And something will trigger the idea, and then I'll come up with more things for it until it expands to a full story. As for actually sitting down and writing it, I never start a story unless I have three things: the title, a good opening, and the ending planned out. Because to me, everything it should be building to the ending.
Right.
You know, the whole thing should be a journey to that ending. That should be the main point, instead of just, whatever happens.
Right, winging it.
Yeah.
That's smart, I feel like, right?
I mean, that's just my process. That's what I like to have in my mind when I start writing.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense for sure. Let me get back to when you were saying that your thought process is when you are writing a story or writing a book, but you're already thinking about the next one. I somewhat can relate because I myself do the same thing when it comes to what we're doing right here. But I tell you, that shit gets a little crazy for me.
Yeah, it can.
I don't know how you could be able to do that while you are writing like an actual book. That's a lot different than what we're doing. Like your mind can process both. You know what I'm saying? Like my shit would be like all over the place.
Yeah. Yep.
So
same here.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's a gift, maybe.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying?
It can be kind of crazy at times, but the writing actually helps because I have a lot of thoughts and stories and ideas going on in my mind all the time. So if I actually write it and put it out, it's there. So I don't have to really have it in my
it's a good way to organize
anymore.
them.
Yeah. I don't have to obsess about it.
Right on. That makes sense. Did you, now growing up, did you keep like I don't know what they would even call it nowadays. Back in our day, they called them what, journals or
journals.
Chicks had diaries.
Right?
Yeah. Did you, as growing up, keep journals?
I had notebooks full of stories.
Okay.
I didn't ever write about myself and my experiences because that's not what I like to write. I would just come up with different stories and things.
Okay. Wow. So when it comes time for publishing, okay, talk to us about that. Is it challenging?
In my experience, it has been very challenging.
Okay, how so?
Well, it all depends on where you want to try publishing. Do you want to try publishing like the big publishers? Do you want to try small press? Do you want to try your luck at self-publishing? There's a lot of different options out there. All of them have their pros and cons. All of them have their difficulties. You could try to find an agent, and that agent can get you into one of the bigger companies. The small press has open submissions at certain times of the year, and you can submit to them. You just have to find the correct market. Like horror there's tons of small press horror publishers.
Okay.
So you go to them, you submit to them. Also, a lot of them also have open submission like short stories, and you can submit short stories, and you can kind of get your name out there and get noticed. And in self-publishing, you can you just do it yourself, but you don't have the marketing power of the publishing company behind you.
Right.
So it's a lot harder to get your name out there.
Right.
You have to network in other ways, which I've had to do since I self-published. Okay.
What made you decide to take that route of self-publishing?
I've had difficulties finding publishers, not just being accepted by them, but just actually finding ones that are open for submission or are still in business. I submitted to one publisher and didn't find out until a year later that they went out of business.
Oh no!
Yeah.
What the hell? That's bad business.
Right? How do you not?
And you gotta wait a long time to hear back. And this is something I do on the side for fun, for me. It helps me mentally. It's just fun for me to do. It's not a big deal to me if I get rich and famous off this, which for a horror writer is, rare anyway.
Right.
So self-publishing was just an easy way for me to put my stuff out just the way I want it, and just so I can put it out there and enjoy it.
That makes sense. The humility of it all too.
Yeah.
Like, it's smart too, right? I feel like maybe sometimes going that route, which I respect that, that it's like you say, it's a side thing, but and you're cool with wherever it leads,
Yeah.
I understand.
Right.
But
Just kind of a therapeutic type of thing, it sounds like.
Yeah, I enjoy the writing. I don't
Yeah.
need to be like, some big famous
Mhm.
author. It's not about that.
You're writing to write. Yep.
I mean, I definitely want people
awesome.
to read the books,
absolutely.
but it's,
I respect it. I respect the outlet. You know what I'm saying? Of being able to use writing as an outlet or creating art. Like we always stress on that we're big into that, creating art. I feel like that's what we do every time we lay one of these down. You know what I'm saying? It's special art that we're doing or we're creating that we're leaving to the world.
Yeah.
So I respect all that, man. That's pretty dope. How long does it usually take for you to get a book written and published? Give me like a ballpark.
Well, it really depends on the story.
Okay.
It also can depend on what is going on in my life. When I was writing Big Nasty, I was having there was a lot of changes, and I was having some issues, and I was having a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
So that one took me 3 years from beginning to publishing.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a very long time. But then Werewolf Vaccine, it took me 6 months to write.
Mm-hmm.
But then because of some other circumstances, it took longer to put out.
Mm-hmm.
Friend Zone was about beginning of writing to actually publishing. It was about a year. So it varies, on the novel.
Right.
And also the length of the novel as well.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Right.
Big Nasty was over 100,000 words when I finished it before I edited it down.
Oh, wow.
As comparison, Werewolf Vaccine is 50. So,
How well has the Werewolf Vaccine done so far since it's been released? It's doing
done all right. Yeah.
Nice. What are some of the challenges you've experienced when writing your books?
I mean, every writer gets writer's block.
Okay.
For me, it's a little bit differently than the way other people, from what I've heard, other people get it, where it's you can't come up with what to write.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's me, it's like I always know what I want to write. It's just sometimes I just can't get myself to write.
Right.
Like actually sit there and do it.
Okay.
And I'll be
Yeah.
writing for a little bit, and then if I'm just not like feeling it, then I'm not going to put as much effort into it. It's not going to be as good.
I feel like that's almost worse than just straight writer's block. I'd rather like not know what to do than know what to do and just be like, I don't feel like doing it. Like,
Yeah,
that's
because then you could just figure out what you want to write and then
Yeah.
write it. Mine,
Yep.
I have to work through this whole
mental
depressive
process.
malaise,
Yes.
like, to get myself to write. Yeah.
Yep.
Let me ask you real quick about a famous author. I mean, I don't even know if we can say that he's a famous author, but he has left, or he wrote a famous book. You guys familiar with Moby Dick?
Of course, yeah.
You
Familiar, but
you ever read it?
No, hell no. It's a lot of words.
Okay. It's a classic book.
Yes.
I believe I think it's listed as one of the best books.
It's definitely up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the author was Herman Melville. Okay. Are you familiar with anything about him?
Not his life.
Story?
No.
I'm not too familiar either, but what I did hear, which makes me feel sad. You know what I'm saying? Because apparently, when he had written Moby Dick and was trying to get it published and whatnot, that he obviously he had no money. He was poor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody really gave a shit about this book or anything, and it wasn't until he was no longer around then this book did what it did
Yep.
to society and to our world, and then it blew up. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy
And
how that shit happens.
Yeah, that happens to a lot of artists.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to focus on. That's the sadly the shitty aspect of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I feel for people who are trying to create or artists, you know what I'm saying? Because we like to, like for you, bro, we like to get everybody out there while we can. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be once they're gone, you know?
Yeah,
Which
and I mean-
sucks because he literally, you know, he never, getting back to Herman Melville, never got to experience any of the joys of, you know, his hard work
Yeah.
that he had done, which sucks, you know?
Yes.
But,
Yes.
you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. Reminds me of a Doctor Who episode. I don't know if you guys watch that.
No?
Oh, Angela, my cousin. Yes, I am familiar with it.
Yeah, they bring Van Gogh from the past to the future
Okay.
and have him listen to a guy at the art gallery talking about how Van Gogh was like the greatest artist in the world.
Wow. Could you
Van
imagine?
Gogh's crying. It was a really great moment in the episode.
See, imagine if, like,
Oh,
in the
like,
afterlife,
imagine
there
that,
is
yeah.
something like that where, you know, you get to go and, like,
And
see.
find out how you touched everyone's lives. and stuff.
Exactly, the
Yeah.
footprint you
That'd be
left.
great.
That'd be dope.
It would be.
Take notes, God.
Do you guys like any of Van Gogh's work?
I mean, I'm not, like, too.
I mean, his
I'm
most
not big on art, but
his
it is
most
very
famous, right? Right.
How are you going to discredit something that's that, like, famous and worth that, you know?
Yeah.
You can't really.
Right, the most famous.
You're trying too hard if you're just like, it's shitty, you know?
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah. You're just trying to be different.
Yeah, no, his most famous piece, right, was the Starry Night painting,
Yes,
I believe.
yes.
But it doesn't look like anything crazy. But when you literally when you look at it a certain way or on certain things, it
Yeah.
moves. You know,
Yeah.
it flows, and like it really is a piece of art.
You have to know to appreciate art to really understand it, I guess.
Yeah. But let's take a quick break. All right. And when we come back, we'll talk about inspirations, role models, as well as the 6 novels Travis has written. You won't want to miss it, so make sure you come back with us right here on the It's All Relative podcast.
In the game now, shit's insane now. Explode next mode. I'm the same how. Don't say you know me, just say you did. When you see me sliding off to another crib, boom in the game now. I'm the same how. The rap game will never be the same now. Don't say you know me, just say you did. When you hear YO, say that's that shit.
Welcome back to It's All Relative. Still with us in studio, Travis Lake. So, Travis, where do you get the inspiration from to write your style of books?
My style, or like my prose or voice, whatever you'd like to call it, probably comes a lot from other books I've read, specific authors that I really like. And, you know, it has a lot to do with what I'm into and the things that I want to write. And, you know, part of myself in there as well.
Right. Okay. So the genre of your books that you are into or that you have written, what category would that be considered?
Overall horror, but, you know, it delves into different subgenres.
Okay. So you're a big horror fan.
Oh, yeah, huge horror fan.
Yeah.
Awesome. Everyone loves a good horror movie.
Yeah, all right.
At least everyone should.
Right, for sure. Give me 3 horror movies that have affected you then in your life.
Affected me. Okay, that's a different question than favorite.
Correct.
All right. Affected me. This is a tough question. Martyrs.
Okay. Never heard of it.
You know,
Yeah, I haven't either. Nope.
Okay. It's very disturbing. It's an extreme horror movie from France,
Okay.
and just the themes and what's going on, just the way it makes you feel was really heartbreaking, honestly.
What were the themes?
Well,
Like, give us a quick summary of the movie then. What is it? Was it in English?
I don't know
First
if
question.
it's. I don't remember if it's dubbed or if it's just sub. I can't remember. I'm not going back to watch.
Oh shit!
It's a very good movie, but it was just the way it made me feel afterwards. It's about this girl who was tortured as a child, and then she escapes, and then when she's grown up, her and her friend go to this house. I'm paraphrasing here the plot. And kill the residents of that house.
Okay.
Oh. It's aggressive.
Yeah.
Is it based off of a true story or no?
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right.
But to really go into the plot, I'd really have to delve more into what happens.
Yeah, and you don't want to.
But just what happens in it and what they talk about, which I can't really say without actually divulging more of the plot, but it just... Like, my soul hurt after I watched it.
Oh, no.
That's how I felt.
Damn.
Was it gory or more?
I mean, it was gory, but it wasn't about the gore for me.
Okay. I have a quick similar. There's a movie that I have seen that I understand that made me feel dirty, I guess, after watching it, and it was the House of a Thousand Corpses. When I had watched that movie,
I don't think I've seen it.
I like that movie.
yeah. But, after I had seen it, I was like, "Ooh, man, like, gotta take a shower." But yeah, no, that just made me think of that when you had talked about feeling a certain kind of way after seeing it. But give me two more if you can think of them.
That affected me. The original Halloween.
Classic.
As affecting me is like story devices, the way the plot moves, how they can make him scary, and it's just a great movie.
Amazing movie. One of my favorites as well. You agree? Best mask ever, or most scariest mask for a villain, or no?
What, for Michael Myers?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have to think about that.
Oh God.
Really, for me, I think
It's definitely
that is,
up there, but I don't know.
What? Give me your third one then.
This is a tough question for me. Just off the top of my head,
Yeah.
The Exorcist.
Another classic.
Yeah, that was one that popped into my head too.
Sure. Well, all right. Well, then, Sarah, give us three that affected you, if you got three, or if you can think of three.
I thought about that. I was thinking about The Shining. It's a good one.
Classic.
The book's better.
And a really nasty one is The Hills Have Eyes.
The original or the remake?
Yeah, the original. I think it was the original. I don't remember. It was something. Birthday party. Watched it in the basement of my childhood house, like 14 or 14 probably. Watched it, so I don't quite remember. But yeah, I just remember it being really nasty and gory.
I think it might have been the remake.
That would be the remake.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Have you ever seen the second one?
No, I don't think I did.
No. Yeah, the first one was definitely. I remember that seeing that in the movie theaters when that came out, and that was definitely a memorable movie. Definitely gory, for sure.
Yeah.
What else you got, Sarah?
Let's see. I love it, but it didn't really leave a mark on me. I just love that movie.
The new ones?
All of them.
Have you
I've
seen the original?
a whole. I never know the difference between what I'm watching, but I've seen a whole bunch of different versions of it, and every single one, I just can't take my eyes off the screen. So,
I believe there's only two.
yes,
There's the mini-series and then the new movies.
yes, and then because there's also something about another one coming out, and I don't know if it has yet or not.
I haven't heard anything about
I'm
that.
terrible at keeping up. I'm terrible at keeping up with these things.
It is my favorite book.
Because again,
of
I have
all time,
the
so
attention
I love that
span of
book.
a squirrel, so I can't freaking watch movies.
And I like the movies too.
Did you? I mean, we'll probably get back to what you had just said, bro, about that being your favorite book. But what did you think about the movies themselves? You like the original with Tim Curry, or you like the newer ones that have recently?
I like the newer ones better.
Okay.
But they both have their pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
I actually prefer Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise over Tim Curry. I love Tim Curry. He's amazing. I just thought Bill Skarsgård was more of what it was supposed to be. A, like, interdimensional
Gotcha.
ancient entity.
Yep.
Yes.
You know, where Tim Curry was great, but it was mostly just, I'm a scary clown.
I got you. I enjoyed both of those movies. I was actually pleasantly surprised with the new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of both of them. But you know, when I was trying to think real quickly of a quick answer, when we had just talked, you know, to answer my question that you guys just did, I was trying to think of a few movies or a few things to say, and like mine, I feel like they just came to me, but off the top of my head, but it was more along the lines of, I think they affected me because it was at the age that like I saw these movies at.
That
So,
definitely
like,
plays a part.
Yeah.
yeah. So the first one to me, I feel like that kind of, I don't know, once again affected me as a young child was the first Aliens.
Oh, Alien or
Yeah.
the Aliens?
The whatever the first one was. Is it Alien?
Alien was the first one where there was just the one alien. And
I just
Aliens
remember-
had a lot of aliens.
Yeah, no, it was just the one because I remember.
That's a classic.
I remember seeing the scene and being so young of when they're all around the table eating, and then
the chest burst.
that
Yeah.
scared the shit out of
Yeah,
me and
that
affected
was
me at a
insane.
young age. For real.
So speaking of at a young age, you guys will probably know that I can never remember the name of the movie, but basically this like nun church girl who plays a younger girl, but she's actually like in her 30s. She ends up like killing a nun with a brick. I think is it just the nun?
I was
don't
gonna say, is
remember
it
what
called The
movie.
Nun or
I
Nun?
don't remember what the movie name is, but that one left a mark. Obviously,
What
as I
else
just
happens
described
in it?
that. I don't really remember much. Like I said, I probably watched it at like 10 or 11. So
I don't know what that is.
Nice. Another movie that
someone out there probably knows. Like, oh, this dumb bitch can't even fucking.
Yeah, no. Another movie that that affected me too when I was younger was the first Leprechaun. That something about that little thing. You know what I'm saying? That was scary.
Little thing.
But now I think it's so funny because when I watch these movies again, it's like we were just talking off mic, but it was it's like, bro, like Rachel from Friends is right there.
Yeah.
Like, how you gonna be scared? But and then the last one, I was a little older, but I remember when this movie had come out, and it just it made an impact or whatnot on me. Was Scream, the original Scream?
Yeah,
when it came out.
Me as well. I would include that in my list.
Yeah, it was incredible for that time. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I've seen it. Surprisingly enough.
You've never seen
You have never seen the
original
first-
Not
Scream?
that I remember. I feel like it's something that my brother definitely watched, and I don't know if I just didn't get into it because he had the mask. Like I was familiar with
Everyone
it.
had the mask.
Right, but like I know that he watched it. I just think that I was too young to appreciate it.
Have you seen any of them?
No, I don't. I don't think that I really.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like
Not
it?
that I recall. You know, I'm also that person who could be watching a movie. Oh, I've never seen this, and I get into it, and I'm like, oh yes, I have. Like I said, attention span. I can't. You know.
Did you
it sucks.
like the second or third?
The Scream movies are fun.
Mhm.
They're always fun, but some of them are better than others.
Right.
Anyway,
I the first one. I stick with
No,
the
the
first,
first
I
one
was
is
about
the
to
best.
say.
Yeah.
You can't beat the first one.
I want to say I've seen the first one. If I'm thinking about the right series here. because I feel like everyone's seen the first one because lots of scenes from it are popular.
Well, the first one has Nev Campbell and
Definitely people are.
Rose McGowan.
Yeah.
Correct. Matthew Lillard. For some reason, I cannot remember the main guy, the main killer.
Billy?
Yeah.
Skeet Ulrich.
Yes, thank you.
And Jamie Kennedy was in it as well.
Yes, I loved his character in it. He was funny. Okay, so those were some movies that affected you guys. Let's real quickly. Do you have a favorite horror movie of all time?
It's hard for me to really narrow it down to just one.
Okay.
But if I probably had to, probably Halloween.
Nice.
Just because of I don't know, it just the effect it has on me. I just love that movie.
Classic.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a big fan of that movie too. What did you think? You like the ones that Rob Zombie directed too?
I respected what he did in the first remake.
Right.
The second one was horrible.
That's cool, man. Hey, we all about you know what I'm saying? Honesty. What about you, Sarah?
I don't know
Yeah.
if I really have a favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about that too because I wasn't really sure myself, really.
Because my issue is I've never had like a movie like genuinely like actually scared me. Like all the movies that I mentioned, I'll watch over and over again, not have a problem. And the other fun fact is like I've never had or remembered a nightmare in my entire life. Like never been like jolted awake by anything like that from a dream. Like haven't, you know. So for me, like a good horror movie is like suspenseful, and I just don't like. I've never been fully satisfied on that suspense. You know, I always just. I'm a tough one to scare, I guess, when it comes to movies and shit.
Yeah, I'm similar. I mean, now that I'm older, I really haven't seen too many that I guess scare me the way that they did when I was younger.
Yeah, like
you know
people
what
like
I'm saying?
screaming at the movie theaters and shit about it. Like I don't. That's never been me. Like I've never. Like I'll jump, but.
When you mentioned the tension and like the atmosphere, that makes me think of like smart horror that they're putting out now, elevated horror,
Right.
they call it. I
Yeah.
love all those.
Yeah, because like that's the point. You want to be like, you know, you want to be shocked. You want to think about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Lose some sleep. Why not?
Some of those could actually have affected me.
Really?
Before, yeah.
Yeah.
Like what?
Hereditary, I was tense the entire movie. Like it just had that atmosphere to it where it just you didn't know what was going to happen. It always felt like something bad was going to happen.
You seen that movie?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, bro, where you be finding these movies at?
Yeah,
'Cause
right.
Hereditary was widely released everywhere.
Oh, man.
I saw it in the movie
Yeah, see,
theaters.
I'm just unaware of
Right.
shit. I don't like. I can't
too.
keep up.
Me too, my fault.
Another one is The Witch.
Bro, I saw that movie. I'm familiar with that movie, actually. One of my boys, shout out to Cody, he let me borrow that movie one time. And when I watched that, bro, I was like, I was so like just taken back. Like, what the hell is going on? This shit is weird. But yeah, about that witch life, for real.
I saw that in the theater, and as we were leaving, one of the people working at the movie theater was waiting, and I guess he had asked a bunch of people who comes out of this movie. He was like, "So, what did you guys think of The Witch?" And I was just looked at him. I was like, I don't feel like I was supposed to see that. It just felt
I know
wrong.
too much.
Yeah, it was such a weird movie. I agree.
I loved it though.
Okay, so that is where the inspiration comes from. So the horror, you know what I'm saying, the horror genre.
As for movies, yeah.
Right. Okay. What about what about role models or other authors that you've learned from?
Authors that have had an influence on me, Stephen King, definitely. I love like all of his books. He's the master. Another one is Brian Keene. I love his stories. He crafts this really cool mythos in the background of all of his books, like they're all connected.
What are a few names of his books? Because I mean, I'm familiar. I mean, even go back real quick because I myself am familiar with Stephen King. But list off a few good Stephen King books that people may know of, and then the same with the other guy you just mentioned.
Okay. With Stephen King, my favorite is It.
Mm-hmm.
I also love Pet Sematary. That's probably the scariest book I've ever read.
Yes, I'm familiar with that one, actually. That also left a little bit of a mark, a little bit.
I'm probably one of the only few people who really likes Tommyknockers.
I remember that movie.
It was the first Stephen King novel I ever read, so I guess it kind of sticks with me.
Mm-hmm.
And as for Brian Keene, his first novel was The Rising, which is a really cool zombie novel. He also wrote Earthworm Gods, which is also known as The Conqueror Worms, which was a name he got stuck with when he first published it. Earthworm Gods is the preferred name. And Ghoul was another one he did that I really loved.
Cool. What are some of your favorite books that you've read?
I mentioned It.
Right.
Earthworm Gods is my favorite Brian Keene novel. There's a book by Richard Lehman that I love called The Traveling Vampire Show.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good book. The original Frankenstein by Mary Shelley.
Classic.
I love.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And it's hard to narrow it down because horror at this point is like all I read.
Okay.
A more recent one that I really enjoyed was The Troop by Nick Cutter. That one was really good.
Why so?
The story was great. His writing is incredible. Just you really get into it. It helped that I was reading it in a cabin in the woods, and it takes place in the woods. So.
Made the setting right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. We've talked about your most recent release, the Werewolf Vaccine, but tell the listeners the other books you've written.
So starting from the beginning, my first was Harold's Ghosts. Do you want me to just list them? Or?
Yeah, just list them real quick.
Okay, Harold's Ghost, Jeremiah, Eddie, Big Nasty, The Friend Zone, and then the Werewolf Vaccine.
Nice. 6 novels. Do you have any one that you're particularly proud of, more so than other?
The Friend Zone.
The Friend Zone?
Yeah, I had a blast writing it. Everything went like smoothly. It was just, I just felt like I was at my best when I was writing that.
When did when did you release that one?
It's so hard for me to keep track of time anymore. A year or two ago, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
You come out with books pretty often then, right? every few years it seems. It's pretty
Yeah, I hope
Consistent,
to do it.
yep.
I hope to do it more frequently. I've had setbacks that have prevented me from just, publishing them out.
right. Is there one you got one that stands out to you for any specific reason?
One of my novels?
Yeah.
Besides Friend Zone?
Yeah. I mean, it could. I mean, you did say Friend Zone, but I mean, was there another one that may stand out to you for another reason?
Jeremiah, I would say. It was my second book, but I think the only reason why it really stands out to me was because I felt I had improved a lot as a writer between those two novels. So that one kind of stuck with me as like a reminder that I'll get better.
Right,
The
right.
more
Nice.
that I do this, I'll get better.
Right.
There you go.
That's something to be proud of for
Yeah.
sure.
It always reflects in the work,
How did actually? Which one out of the 6? Which one was the most successful or has been so far?
Well, since I self-publish, I'm not, I don't make a lot of money, which I don't care about. It's not about that. But because of that, I don't, it's hard for me to keep track. But I would probably say The Friend Zone.
Okay.
I was able to market that one very well. I also feel like it's my best, so that probably helps. I found a really good source with really cool people recently who have that really helped me expand my market.
Awesome.
It's a group on Facebook called Books of Horror.
Shout out.
Nice.
For sure.
Yes.
It's all about that's a big part and a big tool for everything when you have to self-publish things and whatnot. The networking aspect of the whole thing
It can be tough.
Yeah, tough, just as important.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of indie authors these days.
Yeah.
There's a lot more people self-publishing, and it can be a lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, so you're saying that so there are a lot of people out there right now, right? That are writing books.
Yeah,
You make it sound easy.
No, it's not easy, but a lot of people do it.
Really, that's cool then. I purchased Big Nasty. Okay.
Thank you for that.
Oh, absolutely. I am currently reading it. You do have a writing style that just sucks like readers right in. When it comes to this book, I feel like the transitions are super smooth. Like you can just follow and just flow with it. I know when it came, I started reading it, and my wife had picked it up and just kind of glanced through a little, but then had said that she wanted to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because it sparked her interest and got her attention. So, I mean, I'm loving what I've read so far. I do want to talk real quick about the first chapter of the book, when you are kind of just introducing, I guess it's the, the main or the thing, whatever Big Nasty is. But with the whole chapter, like when I'm reading things, like, I'm envisioning things, right? So, and what it kind of reminded me of was the whole plot line somewhat of The Village. You remember The Village? The movie?
Yeah, I actually like The Village.
Yeah, so did I.
I think we're in the minority there.
That's okay, because people didn't like how it may have ended, but we'll just say that that movie, the whole the theme and the idea of what they were doing, that shit was crazy, and that was a good movie for sure. But that's what I had thought of, like the whole, when they're in the woods and things are just happening and whatnot. That's what that's what it made me think of. You know what I'm saying? That movie. But obviously, as it's progressed and whatnot, no longer. But it's
I'm guessing you mean by tone, like an atmosphere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The plots are very
just
different.
Yeah. That's just like the whole setting. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
And like when it was talking about when they're in the woods and then the creatures or whatever. Mm. It made me think of The Village. But
That's cool. I love that movie. So
nice. Let me ask you real quick though, because one thing that I noticed, there's no page numbers on in this book. Now, is that something that you normally do? And if so, why?
I sell bookmarks. No, I'm just kidding. I forget.
Okay.
That's the simple answer. It's the honest answer. I forget to put them in there.
It happens.
Yep.
Right on. That's what's up.
I respect the honesty too.
Yeah. What am I going to do? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Maybe that could be your thing, Maybe just purposely don't put them there now. That'll be the thing.
You got to know.
You got to read this book. It doesn't have fucking page numbers, but.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Invest in a bookmark.
Because when I was reading it too, I'm like, all right, let me get to page whatever real quick. Let me knock some of these out while I have some time. And then as I'm reading and going through it, I'm like, damn, this shit ain't got no page numbers. What page am I on? But like I said, because of the way that you wrote it, though, it just flows. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy just to keep going. The only reason why, like, what has made me stop is just, you know, shit happens in life and whatnot at the time. And I usually be reading and I get tired. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited to get through that. I do, you know, before you leave today, bro, you're going to have to sign that book for me. So
I will.
But out of the 6 that you've written, which one of the books sounds most interesting to you, Sarah? Out of the 6 that Travis has
Which
written.
one was your favorite?
The Friend Zone.
I'm interested in that one, and also, I'm sorry, the one that was a name.
Jeremiah.
There's also Eddie is also a name.
It was Jeremiah.
Can you give us a quick overview, you know, without telling us too much about the book, but give us a quick overview real quick of a few of them, because you did mention Jeremiah. What was that one?
It's a serial killer novel.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
Naturally.
Yeah.
About a serial killer named Jeremiah who believes that he is the angel of death, and he gets targets that he has to go out and kill that are like kind of like highlighted.
Oh, wow.
Damn,
And
that sounds pretty cool.
He has
Right?
a house in the woods where he brings people back and tortures them. That's for him. He doesn't have to do that.
Right.
And the story is told through the perspectives of different characters throughout the story.
Oh,
so
that's
you see
dope.
different characters
Awesome.
who interact with him and how, you know, what happens to them.
That's
awesome.
pretty cool.
That does sound really, really cool.
Yeah, maybe that one's on my list now too.
Yep.
Might have to give you a copy of that one.
Yeah.
That's not really readily available,
Oh, God.
unfortunately.
Why so?
Well, when I first started publishing, I was 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea of the business or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went on the internet and kind of just went to the first thing I saw. And it was a company called Publish America. And I sent them in, and they would, you know, said they would publish it, and I didn't have to pay anything. And they made a cover for me, and they made it into a book and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it was my second time doing that with them because I didn't really know any better. But they take a lot of the majority of the profits, and they just really weren't. Yeah, I was young, so I didn't know any better. They weren't really a reputable company.
Okay.
They eventually became America's Star Books, and then last I heard, they went out of business.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Yeah, scumbag business.
Yep.
And then that's what happens.
I do own a copy, though.
That's
So-
pretty
There you
cool, man. I would hang on to that shit. Then you
Yeah, for
did
sure.
mention off mic then too, because you had said something about the first. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the first 2
Aren't
Aren't-
available.
Yeah, I mean, I do believe they're on Amazon, but I think they're for a ridiculous amount of money that they are not worth.
which is wild.
Do
Please,
not pay that.
yeah, which is wild. Please tell us this story.
That was, I think that was just partly due to the company going out of business. I'm not really sure how they ended up on there.
That's
They probably just put a bunch of books
Yeah.
out there overpriced, maybe hoping that the authors would want to buy them back and would pay that ridiculous price, and then they would get their money.
I don't know because I don't even know who's selling them. I haven't
That's a good.
I haven't
that's
gone
good.
into it much.
Yeah.
I was young and inexperienced that I didn't know, which is, I mean, I guess part of the reason that like I put me off a little bit of publishing companies.
Right, naturally.
But those are like the bad ones. You just got to do your research, just like anything else.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
What about Eddie? Talk to us about that.
Eddie is about a group of kids. You know, they're like a bunch of like misfit outcast kids who all have something like traumatizing that has happened to them,
Mm-hmm.
and they call themselves the Scarred. and they find a injured alien in the woods and take him in.
That's cool.
And heal him, and then when it comes to it goes bad.
Oh wow.
You into like
Very
the
interesting.
extraterrestrial stuff?
Oh yeah, I like
Yeah.
alien stuff.
As am I.
My brother actually came up with the idea of that story.
Oh,
we
yeah?
we were going to write it together, and then he just let me have it.
Well,
You were like,
hey,
all right.
thanks for the idea,
Yeah.
man.
Right?
That's what's up, though. That's pretty cool. Now, what was the fourth one that you said? Was that you wrote?
That's Big Nasty.
The fourth, that Big Nasty was your fourth book?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't mind. You've like tiptoed around the monster in the book. Which thank you for that. In case I didn't want it revealed, but no, I revealed the plot of it as much as I've even marketed it towards that creature. So Big Nasty is about. I don't really know how to describe it too well without delving further into the plot, but it's about a troll that starts tormenting this town.
Awesome. Well said.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm reading this and I'm into it. So. What was the fifth one you said was your favorite?
The Friend Zone.
The Friend Zone. Talk to us about that.
All right, that is about 6 guys who wake up in this room. They don't know where they are or how they got there. As they start to explore, they find out that they are in an ever-changing, hellish nightmare world with all these kinds of things trying to kill them.
That reminds me of like 13 Ghosts. The movie.
That I guess.
I mean,
I actually like that movie.
nice.
But as they're traveling this landscape and with the things trying to kill them, they all find out that they know the same girl. And 5 of them all feel that they were friend zoned and sent to the friend zone, like a literal place.
Got you.
Whereas the 6th guy, he doesn't believe that because he's best friends with the girl. And
Right.
and he's like, I know I didn't do anything to hurt her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I'm revealing a lot of this story. I kept it a mystery before.
Right.
But then I've expanded more of it, so I don't mind telling people.
Nice.
And
Getting the inside scoop.
Yep.
so I also don't want people thinking one way about it due to the title.
Mm-hmm.
But they so it's about them trying to figure out why they're really there and what's happening to them and trying to survive.
Awesome.
All right.
I do like the whole, I guess the whole ideas and the whole schemes for every one of these books. I mean, I can, to some degree of whatnot, I could vibe with all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Talk to us a little more then about the most recent release, the Werewolf Vaccine.
All right. The Werewolf Vaccine takes place in a world where everyone knows about werewolves. It's such a widely known thing that they've even created a vaccine for it. Where if you get the vaccine, if you're bit, you won't turn into a werewolf. It also will fight off the infections.
Nice.
All right.
You can even get it if you've been bit. You can get it afterwards, but only before your first transformation. So everything's going great. The werewolf,
Interesting.
the werewolf population is down. Everyone is much safer until a D-list celebrity goes on a talk show and tells everyone how the werewolf vaccine gave her son autism.
Oh my god.
This starts to make everybody go against the werewolf vaccine, and werewolves start springing up again. And one woman who has discovered this concept, we'll call it, has to make a decision after her daughter, who is not vaccinated, gets bit.
That sounds interesting too. I like.
Yeah.
I like what it's about.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's pretty cool. What's talk to me real quick. What's your opinion when it comes to audiobooks?
Audiobooks are great. Some people, that's what's easiest for them to retain the information. To me, it's still reading.
Okay.
You're still absorbing that book. You're still,
That was a big question.
That's still reading to me.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no,
right
I'm
there.
sorry. I kind of repeated myself.
No, you're good. That was a big question that I wanted to ask, especially you as an author yourself, because I was always curious. I didn't know if authors preferred or weren't really cool with the whole audio books, because maybe does it take away, if someone listens to the audiobook, then it would take away money from I guess owning or buying a hard copy of it, correct? Or would you still?
Well, the author still gets paid either way.
Okay.
I was about to say whenever it's probably monetized somehow where they get paid for that.
Okay. Are any of your books on?
No, none of mine. I wouldn't mind though.
That's cool. Yeah, I was interested. I was actually, wanted to know how what the opinion was about that.
Yeah, I can only speak for myself, but that's how I feel about it.
Okay. What about you, Sarah? Would you be more inclined to read if it was through audiobooks?
No, I'd probably want to read it for myself, honestly, because
right on.
I'm just like, I don't want to listen to it. I want to be able to, because a big thing about reading is just also expanding your vocabulary, expanding just how you read in general, and just overall, it's a well-known fact. The more you read, the more intelligent you tend to be. So, I think it's important to kind of read for yourself. Nothing against audiobooks, like you said. It's easier for some people, but if I'm going to do it, I would do it, quote unquote, the old-fashioned way.
Right. No, I agree with you 100% on what you said. The only thing that I would say about the audiobooks is I feel it's very beneficial when you're on a strict time constraint. You don't have time to be able to sit down.
Students oftentimes love it, I'm sure.
You listen to it in the car.
Exactly.
Yep.
Same thing with what we do in here. That's why I tell everyone, when you're driving, when you're working out, when you're doing whatever, you can listen to It's All Relative. But same thing with the audiobooks. But all right, lastly, Travis, what would you say to anyone out there who's trying to write their own novel? Can you give anyone any advice, words of wisdom?
I would say definitely read a lot. The more you read, I feel like helps you. Whether it's just stories and ideas or developing your voice. It's always great to read all the time. I'd also say just write whatever you want to write. Don't worry about how it comes out, how it is. Just get it out, and then you can go over it and you can make it better. A lot of people have that first draft syndrome, where it has to be perfect, and I've even suffered from that, and it makes it not
enjoyable.
And it doesn't come out and it being perfect at all. You got to get the ideas out. But everybody has different processes. Some writers say you got to write every day. I don't believe in that, but that might work for some people.
Yeah, keep the ideas flowing.
Yeah, there's a lot of different methods to writing. You got to really figure out what works for you.
Nice. I think we did mention too, though, but writer's block is a real thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And would you say that might be one of the most, maybe one reason that's regarded highly of people not ever finishing, or those who are about to start or want to write a book, but then you hit a certain roadblock and then that block never goes away and you can never finish it? Or eventually are people able to break down that barrier?
I mean, it could be. I don't know the statistics on that, but that definitely could be a reason why somebody tries and then just gives up. I'm sure every writer goes through it. in different ways. But yeah, it could make a lot of people give up. I mean, I'm not sure about the statistics of this either, but I know a lot of writers suffer from, depression and, anxiety and other mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems to come along with it. And so that's always a hindrance as well.
Right. All right. You got anything else? We're gonna wrapping it up soon.
Yeah, I think he pretty much described it all pretty well.
All right. Travis, thanks again for giving us some of your time and coming on It's All Relative. Absolutely, bro.
Absolutely.
I've wanted since the beginning of the show, when we started this, I was always looking to be able to get an author to come on. I always wanted to, because I always had some questions, you know what I'm saying? But we're super grateful to have you, such a seasoned author, such as yourself, to be on as our first author. So, thanks again, bro.
Yes, thank you for being here.
Oh, you're welcome, and I had a great time.
Awesome. You got anyone or anything in particular you'd like to plug or shout out?
My books are available on Amazon. That I publish through Amazon.
Okay.
They are free on Kindle Unlimited if you subscribe to that. I'd also like to shout out to the Facebook group that I mentioned before, Books of Horror. It is a wonderful group that has really helped me.
Awesome, absolutely.
And I'm sorry.
No, you can
also find me on Facebook. My name is Travis Lake, or at Twitter at Villain Lake.
Awesome. Fans, definitely look up Travis, look up his social medias. If you are interested in any of these books that you've heard of, check them out on Amazon. Go purchase some, help spread the love, and get into some of these books. You know what I'm saying?
See what's up.
Absolutely. Sarah, you want to hit him with your social media?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram at Sarah with 2 H's _ Molnar with 2 R's. And my TikTok is Sarah with an H, J Molnar.
All right. And you guys can always find me at Josh _ Toth 3. That's my Instagram. And my Facebook is Joshua Toth. Real quickly, the message option on Anchor, please go to anchorfm.com. There's a big message option. As soon as you click on that, it will give you the opportunity to leave us an audio message. You can give us a shout out. You can give yourself a shout out. You can ask us.
Just interact.
Exactly. You can ask Sarah and I any questions. You guys could ask Travis a question. If you guys use that option, we will play that and answer your question live on the next show.
Yes.
So please take
Still waiting.
Yeah,
that first one, y'all are going to be special.
Yeah, take the opportunity and click that audio message. But big shout out to Stellar Sound and Media and our editor Jackson Wallace.
You.
Sarah, remind all the listeners where they can find us at.
So you guys can find us at Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, and Google. And we are working on getting a Twitter page up. Just waiting on the username we'd like to be available. Got to figure out some timelines of when a previous page was removed. So just give that some time. But for now, that's where you can find us at. Yes.
Give us some time. We will be up on Twitter. If you guys are using Apple or Spotify, please, we're looking for a little push, so you guys can help us out with that. Use the what's it called? Give us a quick review. Takes like 30 seconds. Quick review. Click the 5-star rating, whether it be on Apple or Spotify, and please don't forget to subscribe.
Yep.
All right.
Stay in touch. Stay tuned.
Yeah. All right. That's a wrap. Travis, thanks again.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Stay safe, stay kind, stay proud and powerful, and we'll see everyone soon. Peace.
Peace out.